it's April from April's Home, and it is nearly Halloween, so I thought I would share with you a fun recipe that we have been having every Halloween for many, many years. This is my layered nacho recipe that I turn into Spiderweb nachos. So here's what you'll need. You'll need a pound of cooked and drained hamburger, and I just simply season that with salt, pepper, and a little bit of dried minced onion. You'll need some salsa. You'll need about half a can to a whole can of drained whole kernel corn. You'll need a can of refried beans. This is one of the smaller cans, the 16-ounce can. You'll also need about half a can or a whole can, depending on how many you want, of the drained and rinsed black beans. You'll need some cheese. You'll need a couple of olives that are whole, as well as some that are sliced or chopped. So I'm going to just go ahead and open up this can and slice them up myself because I need a whole olive to make the spider for the center of our spider web. We'll also be using some sour cream to put the web on the top of this. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get all of my ingredients opened up and ready to go. We'll start by putting the can of refried beans in the bottom layer of this pie dish, which I will also go ahead and spray with a little bit of pan spray. I've also preheated my oven to 400 degrees so that we can get this cooked up in a jiffy. Okay, so I've opened up my can of corn and drained it, as well as drained and rinsed my black beans. I've got my salsa opened up and my cheese opened up, and I've spread my can of refried beans into the bottom of this pie dish. You can also use a 9x13 pan as well. That's how I do it. Just normally, when I'm not making spiderweb nachos, I make it in a rectangle shaped pan. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 layers of salsa, hamburgers, black bean, corn, and cheese on this, and we're going to do that twice. So I'm going to start by putting on a layer of salsa. Any of your favorite salsa will do, using probably a little less than 1/4 cup there, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my spoon and spread it around evenly. And again, you can use as little or as much as you'd like, depending on how much you like salsa, as well as the spice in salsa. So just like so. Then I'm going to add a layer of hamburger to this, probably about half of the hamburger there. So I've added the hamburger there, and then I've grabbed about 1/4 cup of cheese, just a handful there, and lightly spread a thin layer of cheese over the hamburger. Next I'll be adding the black beans and corn, and I'm just going to kind of sprinkle that over the hamburger and cheese layer. So over the top of the cheese layer, I've added the corn and black beans, and next we're going to do those layers again. So we're going to start with another layer of salsa. Just going to kind of dot it around there and then use my spoon to spread that salsa out. Then I'm going to add another layer of hamburger. So there's my next layer of hamburger. Now I'm going to go ahead and add another layer of cheese. So again, just a thin layer of cheese all the way around the hamburger. That'll melt into the layered nachos here. And then I'm going to add another final layer of corn and black beans. Okay, so there's the final layer of corn and black beans. I've also sliced up about 7 whole olives here. If you have sliced, you can use that too, and we'll go ahead and sprinkle this over the top. You can also have some chopped off to the side to serve on the top of this once it's all cooked. That's also really nice. So we'll go ahead and dot that with the olives here. And then I'm going to top it with another layer of cheese. So here are our nachos with their final layer of cheese on top of the sliced olives. You can see that nice full pie pan full of layered nachos. I'm going to go ahead now and put this in a 400-degree oven until the cheese is melted and all the layers are heated through. While it's cooking, I'll show you how to make a spider for the center of this out of an olive. The nachos are in the oven cooking, so I thought I would share with you how I make the spider for the center. And you can make more than one if you want. I usually just put one in the center. So start with a whole olive and slice it in half lengthwise, just like so. So you have 2 halves. This will be the body of the spider. Next, we're going to turn this over, and I'm going to make it into slices to make the legs for the spider. Before I cut it into legs, I will also cut that in half lengthwise, and then cut each one of those into 4 legs. So from the other half of the olive, I've cut little slices to create 8 legs. You can see how I've laid it around that, and I will put that in the center of the nachos on top of the sour cream spider web. So you will also need some sour cream. I'm going to go ahead and use the squeezed sour cream. If you don't have squeezed sour cream, you can put your sour cream into a Ziploc bag, cut the corner, and use that as sort of a piping bag to create our spider web, which I will show you how to do in just a minute. Again, I'll also chop up a few more of these olives to serve with the layered nachos fresh. We'll save the last half of black beans and corn for leftovers. We can always add those to the nachos later for leftovers if we like, or they can work their way into another meal. I also serve extra salsa along with the nachos as well, and I serve these nachos with scoop style tortilla chips, which I'll show you when I get ready to serve it. So I'll come back when the layered nachos are heated through and show you how to decorate it and turn them into spiderweb nachos. Our layered nachos are out of the oven and they are heated through. That was heated up at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes or so, or until all the cheese is melted and it is heated through. So now we're going to go ahead and top this with some sour cream spider webs. First, we'll draw lines across in sort of like as though we're dividing up a pie. Then we'll make the web around the inside of that, and I'll show you what that looks like at each step. Okay, so here is the first section of sour cream. Now we're going to take our sour cream and draw a spider web around the entire thing until we have a nice spider web design of sour cream. There we have our spider web. It is a little bit rough. You can do another third layer if you like sour cream, but I didn't want to use that much sour cream. Now to put our spider in the center. So our half of an olive and then all of the little spider legs here. I'm going to go ahead and get that spider on there, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready to serve up. Okay, I've decided to put 2 spiders here, one off to the side and one here, and now I'd like to add some little red eyes to them. So I've just put a dollop of ketchup on a plate, and I've dunked the tip of my fork in the ketchup to create a little dot of red for the eyes, just like so. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to this spider and get it all served up. Here are my spiderweb nachos all ready to go. Set this out here on my autumn table. This is something that I serve every year for our Halloween buffet. Tonight we'll be enjoying this while we watch a fun movie. And again, I'll be serving that up with some Tostitos scoop style chips. It's a nice way to grab the dip here. I just serve up a nice scoop onto a plate with some chips and salsa. You can also add this to the top of a salad if you'd like to turn it into a layered nacho salad. That would also be a really good option, but tonight we'll just be enjoying it with some tortilla chips. So now I'm going to go ahead and serve up a small plate to give it a try. I've served up a very small scoop here along with some chips so that I can give this a try. I like to get a little bit of everything in there: the corn, the black beans, the olives, sour cream, hamburger, refried beans, and cheese. So just like always, that was absolutely delicious, and I am looking forward to having layered spiderweb nachos for dinner tonight. And this will make another appearance on Halloween for our Halloween buffet. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at how to make these easy and delicious spiderweb nachos, a fun dinner for Halloween or any time in October. I hope everyone is having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.